Hi all, and welcome along to the Groan Zone episode 5. Before I go all the way in deep into this show, I'd just like to say my warmest thanks to all of you that have listened to this show so far. Thanks to you, in almost its first month, it's broken all my expectations. We have officially passed 118 downloads as of right now. Do not worry though, there is plenty of growing to be had in the meantime. Many more shows to come, loads more ideas. I'm far from done, and I'm going to enjoy it along the way, as are you guys, so don't you worry about a thing. But those that are new to the show, maybe listen from episode 5 backwards, and I'll explain what the show is, and also hello to the regular listeners. This show is my little droplet in an ocean of podcasts, in which I give up my trio of weekly groans. We do a bit of fun with a weekly alternating game. You, my dear groaner, have your groan read out on the show, and we round things off with a zero of the week. As I said, more will come in future, but that's for another time, a whole other story. However, speaking of groans, let's get stuck right in with my 3 groans of the week. So number 1, when you're walking out of a shop, please use your common sense and do not stop dead in the middle of where people walk in and out unless you like people nearly crashing into you and knocking you over. Just move to one side. Very simple, very basic. That we are in nobody's way. Simples. Rule number 2. Please, if you're eating in front of anybody, even if it's just a crisp, that's a potato chip for anyone outside of the UK, just eat the food with your pie hole shut. Nobody wants to see your mouth agape as you chew. Thanks. That's a public service announcement. No open mouth chewing. Thank you. Rule number 3. In your house, unless you live alone, if you use the last slice of toilet paper or last pump of soap, don't be a twonk. Change them out for a new roll or new soap. Nobody wants to be left unable to wipe themselves clean or soap their hands after the toilet. It might look funny, but it isn't, because gyms are awful. Ugh. But anyway, now I've groaned, let's have a little bit of fun with yes or BS. Yes, it's that time of the show where I see who can discern fact from fiction. Let's have a brief scan of the rules for those new to the show. A. Avoid the BS in 3 of the rounds. B. You pick a BS answer, and any points you've built up for the course of the game get wiped. So if you're in round 3, you've scored 2 points, you get false in the last one, bang, your points are gone. 1 or 2 BS facts per round, and that's rule C. There'll be no more, unlike my very first show, where I got them all completely wrong and I put 3 falses in there. I will never ever forget that. Rule number D. Rule D. I'll get this right eventually. Answers are locked in once picked. No swapping answers at the last minute. Finally, last rule, E. Do not cheat. It's all in fun. You don't win a prize for getting all the answers right. At least not to my knowledge. Anyway, now we must begin. Let's play Yes or BS. Round 1. Manganese. Option A. Modern manga was created in 1902. B. The biggest selling manga comic of all time is the Akira comic tie-in. Option C. A manga artist is known as a, probably going to butcher this, sorry Japanese peeps, Tezuka. I'll just wait for the answers to come in. Got one for B there. Another one for B. Any advances on that? Okay, those locked in there. Right, you'll get your answers at the end of the show. Round 2. The Clint Eastwood round. Option A. He dodged the draft to fight in Vietnam. Option B. He really enjoyed working on the TV show Rawhide. Option C. Clint Eastwood's first major movie role was as a scarecrow in the annual Universal Studios Christmas Kids Show. Again, just wait for answers to float in. Couple for C there. Someone's wrote option D. There was no option D. A, B, or C. Oh, thank you very much. Corrected themselves. Whoops. Oh, bless you. Round 3. The toxic round. Option A. It would take around 2,000 apple seeds to get cyanide poisoning. Option B. Cashew nuts and poison ivy have something in... I'll start again. Cashew nuts and poison ivy have something minus an allergy in common. So people can be allergic to nuts and poison ivy. They've got something in common. Option C. Star fruit can be potentially deadly to those with pancreatitis. Again, just pause the answers float in there. Got one immediately for A there. A as well. Any advances on A? Those answers? Locked in? Those that are, of course, playing along at home, listening to the show after it's been published, you can pause at your leisure, have a think, and answer at your due course leisure. Right, all answers locked in. You'll get the answers after the audience groan. So, we'll find out then if I BS you or not. Audience groan. Yes, my dear groaners, it's time to shrine. It's your time to shine. This week, Norma E has emailed in the first of her Groan trilogy with her partner Rob. And this week they've groaned about impatient drivers. Did I say inpatient or impatient there? Impatient drivers. So those that, can't wait at lights, those that'll take corners too quick, cut you off and everything else. I can fully understand, I'm a non-driver myself, as why that would be deeply, deeply annoying, causes many accidents, people not taking due care. Just have a bit more care when you're driving. I'm sure it isn't hard. You're not taught to drive like an idiot when you're doing your driving test, so why drive like an idiot afterwards? Road rage has no place in driving at the moment. No place at all. But thank you, Norma, for emailing it in there. But if you'd like to get a chance to have your groan read out like Norma did, there are multiple ways to do so. The Facebook is the Groan Zone podcast. The email is thegroanzonepod@gmail.com. And the Discord, of course, which some people are listening to as we speak, as I'm recording, is the Groan Zone. Then you can send your jokes in, your groans, funny stories, suggestions, or simply just want to tell me your views on the show. But now, let's see who got tripped up by BS then, shall we? I'll just zoom back up here to see where all the answers were. So then, I'll recap the answers as well for people. Round 1, the manganese round. Option A. Modern manga was created in 1902. This is in effect true. It was published in 4 boxes per page with typed text. Very different to the manga we know and love right now. Option B. The biggest selling manga comic of all time is the Akira comic tie-in. If anybody picked B, sorry, you're wrong, it's false. The most selling comic in manga history at the moment is called One Piece, with over 96 volumes and has currently sold 470 million copies. My god, that is a lot of manga. And lastly, option C, a manga artist is known as a Tezuka. Well, if you went for this one, it's false. I have no idea what a Tezuka is because I just made the word up. Real name for a manga artist, they are known as, probably going to butcher more Japanese language here, mangaka. That's M-A-N-G-A-K. Mangaka. We got that right. If I didn't just correct this and email us in if you speak Japanese. Round 2, the Clint Eastwood round. Option A, he dodged the draft to fight in Vietnam. You pick this option, sorry, it's actually false. He was drafted after a fling with an officer's daughter. Option B, he loved working on the TV show Rawhide. This is in effect false. He absolutely hated it, although it was his TV breakthrough. And C. Clint Eastwood's first major movie role was as a scarecrow in the annual Universal Studios Christmas Kids show. This is actually true. Now, the last round, the toxic round. Option A. It would take around 2,000 apple seeds to get cyanide poisoning. False. The actual number is between 83 to 200. The seeds release 0.6 milligrams of hydrogen cyanide. Option B. Cashew nuts and poison ivy have something in minus an allergy in common. True. They can both cause skin rashes due to a resin they both have. And last option C. Starfruit can be potentially deadly to those with pancreatitis. This is actually false. Its toxin actually impacts on those with poorly functioning kidneys. If you hit any BS there, sorry, but that's the nature of the game. Better luck next time. Now we must move on to our zero of the week. You may or may not agree with me here, but this is a worldwide thing. And I feel that Just Stop Oil or similar groups have earned their place in this part of the show. Stopping traffic doesn't work when they're going against pollution or anything like that, as all or most cars are still running, which still causes pollution and it builds it up. Throwing paint, etc. at statues or paintings draws away from the issues you're presenting, as people are more concerned about damage done to actual history. And supergluing yourselves to walls, etc., well, that just sums up how stupid you truly are, as it seems pretty easy to remove you and you only do damage to yourselves. So yes, we hear your concerns loud and clearly, we really do, but you're going about raising them in completely the wrong ways. Therefore, Just Stop Oil and similar groups, especially the Extinction Rebellion, you are hereby branded on the whole as zeros of the week. And with that being said, another show's ended, but hope you follow and subscribe. Keep the groan strong, share it, pass it along, and most importantly, do not let me groan alone. Bye all, I'll see you next time.